The lateral aspect of the cranium is formed by both the nasal cranium and visceral cranium. The main feature here is the temporal fossa, which is bounded superiorly and posteriorly by superior and inferior temporal lines. Here they are. Anteriorly by the frontal and zygomatic bones, and inferiorly by the zygomatic arch. The last one is formed by the union of the temporal process of the zygomatic bone, which is here, and the zygomatic process of the temporal bone. The infratemporal fossa lies below the infratemporal crest on the greater wing of the sphenoid. The pterygomaxillary fissure is a vertical fissure that lies within the fossa between the pterygoid process of sphenoid bone and the back of the maxilla. It leads medially into the Pterygopalatine fossa. The inferior orbital fissure is a horizontal fissure between the greater wing of the sphenoid bone and the maxilla. It leads forward into the orbit. The Pterygopalatine fossa is a small space behind and below the orbital cavity. It communicates laterally with the infratemporal fossa through the pterygomaxillary fissure, medially with the nasal cavity through the sphenopalatine foramen, superiorly with the skull through the foramen rotundum, and anteriorly with the orbit through the inferior orbital fissure. In the anterior part of the temporal fossa, superior to the midpoint of the zygomatic arch, is the pterion. It is usually indicated by a roughly H-shaped formation of sutures that unite the frontal, parietal, sphenoid, and temporal bones. Fractures of the pterion can be life-threatening because it overlies the frontal branches of the middle meningeal vessels, which lie in the grooves on the internal aspect of the lateral wall of the cranium. The external acoustic opening is the entrance to the external acoustic meatus, which leads to the tympanic membrane, known as eardrum. The mastoid process of the temporal bone lies posterior inferior to the external acoustic meatus. Here it is. Anteromedial to the mastoid process is the slender styloid process of the temporal bone.